Attention passionate Green Bay Packers fans. Latest news. Something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Green Bay Packers' path to another Super Bowl run. A power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Green Bay Packers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Green Bay Packers fans. Let's get to the news now, folks. Let's talk about something that's been buzzing around the NFL circles lately. A potential blockbuster move that could reshape the NFC North and, more specifically, give the Green Bay Packers a serious boost as they chase another Super Bowl appearance. We're talking about the whispers from ESPN sources that suggest the New York Jets are considering trading Quinnen Williams, their standout defensive tackle, to the Packers. Yes, you heard that right. The Jets, currently sitting at 2-5, are in a bit of a rebuild mode, especially on the defensive front. They rank 24th in sacks per game, averaging just 2, and with a cap space of around $78 million. They're prioritizing a rebuild that's heavily centered around their quarterback situation. The Jets are clearly looking to shift gears. And the idea of trading away a player like Williams, a proven Pro Bowler who has been dominant the last couple of seasons, is gaining traction. Quinnen Williams, drafted 3rd overall back in 2019, has become one of the league's premier interior defensive linemen. Over the last few years, he's really made a name for himself with the Jets, earning Pro Bowl honors from 2022 through 2024 and posting some eye-popping stats. 40 sacks, 112 QB hits, and a 89.2 grade from PFF. That's elite production for a defensive tackle. And just last year, in 2025, Williams continued to impress, with 17 solo tackles, 1 sack, 3 forced fumbles, and an impressive 18% win rate on his pass rushes. His EPA per pressure sits at -0.30, putting him among the top 10 interior linemen across the league. That kind of talent is rare, and the Packers would be wise to consider what adding him could mean for their defense. The potential trade would involve a first-round pick in 2026 and a fourth-rounder in 2027. A substantial price, but one that could pay off in a big way. The Jets, currently with about $78 million in cap space, are looking to rebuild, and they're not particularly convinced that paying a premium for a defensive tackle is the way forward for a team that's still trying to find consistency at quarterback. Plus, they're clearly eyeing the upcoming NFL draft and free agency as ways to reshape their roster. The Jets' run defense has been middling this season, ranked 27th, allowing 142 yards per game. And they're focusing on youth and potential instead of a high-priced interior defender like Williams, who is just 26 years old but could be viewed as more of a long-term piece for the right team. Now, for the Green Bay Packers, this isn't just about adding a star, although Williams would certainly bring that. It's about transforming their interior defensive line and making a clear statement in the NFC North. Currently, the Packers rank 20th in run stop, allowing around 128 yards per game, which isn't terrible but isn't championship caliber either. The addition of Williams, especially playing alongside Kenny Clark, could be a game changer. Clark, who has been solid all season with 4-5 sacks and a knack for collapsing pockets, would have a new partner in the middle capable of consistently generating pressure. This duo could turn Green Bay's defense into a nightmare for opposing quarterbacks, especially in crucial moments. What's really exciting is how this move could elevate the Packers' pass rush. With Williams inside, the team's pressure rate would jump approximately 19%, making it much harder for opponents' offensive lines to hold their ground. And when you combine Williams's ability to collapse pockets with Clark's disruptive presence, you're looking at a front seven that could become one of the best in the league. Potentially a top 5 unit, averaging around 3.8 sacks per game. That's the kind of pressure that can lead to turnovers. And we've seen that in Green Bay this season, where turnovers are up by about 1.5 per game, comparable to teams like the Colts with Buckner in 2024, who had a +10 forced fumbles margin. Improving the interior pressure can make a massive difference, especially in tight games. In the NFC North, the Packers' newfound strength could have ripple effects. The Vikings' offensive line has been struggling, and data simulations suggest that their efficiency could drop by around 15% if faced with a disruptive interior line like the one Green Bay could field with Williams and Clark. That could be enough to tilt close games in favor of the Packers, making the division race even more competitive and putting pressure on the Vikings to re-evaluate their line and run defense. Now, looking at the odds, there's something interesting happening. Initially, the Packers were considered underdogs in the playoff picture with odds around +200. But with the potential addition of Williams, those odds could tighten significantly to around +900. That's a huge shift in perception, and it underscores just how much a player of Williams's caliber could impact their chances. Some analysts are even drawing parallels to the 2023 Eagles with Hargrave, whose presence was pivotal in their playoff run, and who also came with a reputation as a game-changer inside. From a strategic perspective, this move makes a lot of sense for the Packers. They've been building a solid team under head coach Matt LaFleur, and now with the addition of a disruptive force like Williams, they could be turning their defense into a true lockdown unit. And it's not just about stopping the run. They could significantly increase their sack numbers, force more turnovers, and create a more intimidating environment for visiting teams at Lambeau Field. The goal is clear: elevate the defense to support the offensive firepower led by Jordan Love and the developing receiving core. If they can do that, the Packers won't just be playoff contenders. They could be serious Super Bowl favorites once again. But let's not forget, this kind of move isn't just about talent. It's about timing. The trade deadline hits on November 4th, and with that deadline looming, the Packers have an opportunity to strike and make a statement. If they pull the trigger, it could signal their intention to seriously contend now, rather than later. For fans, it's an exciting time, because we're witnessing what could be a pivotal shift in the NFC North. Both the division and the playoff landscape could look very different in the coming weeks. And Green Bay's chances of not just competing but dominating are looking brighter than ever. And just to tie everything together, the story of Quinnen Williams isn't just about stats or cap space. It's about the kind of impact a player like him can have on a team. When you look at his performance, his potential fit alongside Kenny Clark, and the strategic needs of the Packers, it's easy to see why this rumor has fans buzzing. A young, dominant interior lineman can change the game. And if Green Bay manages to pull off this trade, it will undoubtedly be remembered as one of the most significant moves of this season. Pause here, just for a second, if you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Green Bay Packers news to you. It's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick, and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now, let's continue with the big reveal. So, fans, keep your eyes peeled. The next few days could be crucial. Will the Packers really make a push for Quinnen Williams? If they do, it's going to send shockwaves through the league, especially in the NFC North. The Packers have been quietly building something special this season, with a 5-2 record that's got them in the thick of the playoff hunt. Adding a player like Williams could be the final piece to turn that playoff push into a legitimate Super Bowl run. The defense, which has been good but not elite, could suddenly become one of the league's most feared units. And for the fans, that's exactly the kind of excitement we crave, right? Looking ahead, if this trade happens, expect a significant boost not just in sacks and pressures but also in the team's overall confidence. Defensive players thrive when they see a game-changing talent in their midst. And Williams has that vibe. His ability to collapse pockets, generate turnovers, and free up Kenny Clark to make more plays could be the difference maker in close games. And don't forget, with the Packers' offense showing steady improvement under Jordan Love, a stout defense could be the final ingredient to push them over the top. In the end, this potential move is about more than just a single player. It's about a team making a statement, about a franchise that's hungry for success and willing to do what it takes to get there. If the Packers can lock in Williams, they're not just adding a star, they're raising the entire team's ceiling. That's what makes this story so compelling. Fans, stay tuned, because the next few days are going to be critical. The NFL trade deadline is always full of surprises. And this year, Green Bay might just be at the center of one of the biggest. And now, Green Bay Packers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think the Packers should go all in and trade for Quinnen Williams? How much do you believe he could change the team's fortunes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the team. Remember, I'll be back soon with more updates. So stay tuned for all the latest Green Bay Packers news. This season is shaping up to be unforgettable. And with moves like this, it could be one for the history books. Thanks for watching. And as always, go Pack Go!